This is 7 Realities, 1 Hope, Lesson 11, The Hope of the Gospel. The Apostle Paul made the hope of eternal life one of the major themes of his letters. What did he want us to believe about this hope? For one thing, Paul wanted us to know that the things God has promised us exist right now in heaven. The good news of eternal life, the gospel, which Paul also calls the word of truth, is the message that there is a hope laid up for us. But where precisely is that hope laid up? It is laid up in heaven. And what exactly is up there in the kingdom of heaven in storage? What are some of the things in heaven in which we are to hope? Try the New Jerusalem, the rewards which Jesus will bring the day he returns, great riches, and even flying horses. Yes, you heard it correctly. Horses that fly. How else will we return to earth after our stint in heaven? Those things are all up in heaven right now. They will come down with Christ in the kingdom. And the fact that they are waiting for us, being held in storage, is gospel. It's good news. We give thanks to God because of the hope laid up for you in heaven, of which you previously heard in the word of truth, the good news. That's Colossians chapter 1, verses 3 to 5. But there is much more. We'll get crowns, rods of iron, which will exercise authority. Deeds to the land Christ will allot each one. Rights to build houses, authority over the animals who will become our pets, white robes, and other special gifts from Jesus like small white stones with new names. That's in Revelation chapter 2, verse 17. How many other passages speak to the rewards Jesus will bring? Here is Matthew 5:12. Great is your reward in heaven. Here is Revelation chapter 22, verse 12. Jesus says, I am coming soon from heaven. My reward is with me, and I will give to each person according to what they have done. Here is Hebrews chapter 11, verse 26. Moses regarded disgrace for the sake of Christ as of greater value than the treasures of Egypt, because he was looking ahead to his reward. Here is 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 8. They, ministers of the gospel, will each be rewarded according to their own labor. These rewards are an integral part of the good news the church must declare to the world. If your church's version of the gospel does not include those things, then it's not preaching the true gospel. It's preaching a cheap imitation. The true gospel causes people to set their eyes on the hope of the kingdom. Here is 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 13. Set your hope completely on the grace to be brought to you at the revelation of Jesus Christ. Here is Colossians chapter 3, verse 2. Set your mind on things above, not on earthly things. And here is Matthew chapter 6, verses 19 to 21. Do not lay up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroys, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. A false gospel has no hope. The cheap imitations of the gospel always move us away from the hope of the kingdom. Be wary of them. They usually focus on church growth, prosperity, and diverse blessings of God, such as marriage, family, education, careers, food, community, purpose, good music, and friendship. But they are bereft of any kingdom hope. Don't forget, although these things are not inherently evil, they can easily distract us from the hope. They may become a stumbling block and hinder our salvation, especially if in your church, the pastor takes kingdom promises, things that God has promised us for after the resurrection, which are the majority of his promises, and applies them to the here and now. That's when seeking God's blessings will definitely move you away from the hope of the gospel. Here is Colossians chapter 1, verses 20 to 21, and verse 23. He, God, has now reconciled you to himself. If indeed you continue in the faith, firmly established and steadfast, and not moved away from the hope of the gospel. To stay firm and steadfast in the hope of the gospel, we must continue in the faith. What is the faith? It's the sound doctrine, the doctrine of the apostles as seen in the New Testament. Sound doctrine keeps us on track. There are many deviations from the hope of the gospel, but there will be no deviations for those who follow sound doctrine. If we persevere in the truth, we'll be fully convinced that the rewards God has promised in the kingdom will surely come to us. You should be warned. Paul uses the words if here. He says that you are reconciled if you continue in the faith and if you do not move away from the hope. Do you get it? We cannot allow ourselves to be led away from the hope of the kingdom. Your success is not guaranteed. It's conditional. We have to be firmly established and steadfast. We either persevere in the hope or we perish. So make your best effort.